Hello everyone, this is our sixth lecture of design of experiments. So, in previous some lectures, we have discussed one design which is used for the comparison of effect of T treatments, and the design is completely randomized design. So, in this lecture, we are going to discuss one another design which is also used for the comparison of effect of treatments, and the design is randomized block design. So, what is randomized block design, or when we use randomized block design? So, suppose in field experimentation, if the whole of the experimental area is not homogeneous and the fertility gradient is only in one direction, then a simple method of controlling the variability of the experimental material consists in stratifying or grouping the whole area or whole experimental area into relatively homogeneous strata or subgroups, or we can say that blocks or replicates. And if the treatments are applied at random to relatively homogeneous units within each strata or block and replicated over all the blocks, the design is a randomized block design. So, suppose we want to compare or we want to conduct one field experiment. So, we know that when we consider any field experiment, our experimental material or experimental area is not homogeneous in nature. And suppose we want to compare a treatment effect according to or one direction of fertility gradient. So, in such a cases, we observe some variability or some variation in our experimental material. So, to reduce this variation due to experimental material, we divide our whole experimental area into relatively homogeneous stratas. These stratas are nothing but blocks, and then we assign treatment at random to relatively homogeneous units within each block, and we repeat this over all the blocks, and such a type of design is nothing but randomized block design. So, completely randomized design is based on only two principles. One is a replication and another one is a randomization. So, in completely randomized design, we consider experimental material homogeneous. But in randomized block design, our experimental material is not homogeneous. So, hence, this design is based on all three principles of design of experiments. So, first principle is replication. So, what is replication? We repeat treatments number of times. Then, second one is a randomization. So, we assign each treatment to each experimental unit at random. So, for randomization, we can use random number table, or we can use any computer program to assign treatment to experimental unit randomly. And third one is a local control. So, why we use local control? We know that when we consider any field experiment, in that our experimental material is heterogeneous in nature. So, we observe some variability because of that heterogeneous material. So, to reduce that experimental area, to reduce such a type of experimental error, we divide our experimental area into relatively homogeneous blocks. So, this is what local control. So, our randomized block design is based on all three principles. So, let us discuss one example. So, The example is, suppose we want to consider or we want to conduct one agricultural experiment in which suppose we want to compare four fertilizers. Suppose we have four fertilizer A, B, C and D. But now we want to compare these fertilizers according to condition of soil. So we divide our experimental land or experimental area according to fertility of soil. So suppose we have three types of soil. One is a soil of bad condition. Second one is a soil of just okay condition or okay type of soil condition. And we consider third type of soil, which is good soil. Okay. So what we do in randomized block design? Okay, so here we have 4 number of treatments and we have 3 number of blocks. So here we consider fertility of soil, which is perpendicular to each block. Suppose we have 3 blocks or we consider 3 blocks here. So in block 1 contain soil of first type, that is soil of bad condition. And each block, we divide each block into 4 number of plots, because here we want to compare 4 treatments. So each block is divided into 4 plots. Suppose we want to compare 5 treatments, then each block is divided into 5 plots and each plot is of same size, and we consider shape of each plot rectangular. Okay, rectangular in shape. So block 1 contain soil of type 1, then block 2 contain soil of type 2 and block 3 contain soil of type 3, that is good type of soil. And this each rectangle is nothing but plots. Okay, so this one is a plot, this one is a plot. So in this way we assign each treatment in each block randomly. Suppose I assign one fertilizer here. Suppose I assign A here, then we can assign B here, C here and D here, because we use randomization to assign each treatment to each experimental unit. Similarly, we use randomization to assign treatment to each experimental unit. So in this way we get randomized block design. Now we are going to discuss recording of observations in randomized block design. Means how we get observations in this design. Suppose we have T number of treatments and P means P number of blocks. Then Xij is the observation due to ith treatment and jth block. So this is Xij. So now we get one table for observations. Suppose in this column we have treatment in bracket I. Suppose we have T number of treatments. So first treatment, second treatment, third treatment, to dash dash, ith treatment and up to dash dash th treatment. And here suppose we have B number of blocks. So here we have block 1, block 2 up to dash dash jth block and up to th block. Now for treatment 1 and block 1 we get observation x1 1. For treatment 1 block 2 we get observation x1 2. Similarly for first treatment and jth block we get observation x1j. In this way for first treatment and bth block we get observation x1b. So for first treatment we get treatment total x1 dot and its treatment mean is denoted by x1 dot bar. So now for second treatment and first block we get observation x21. Second treatment, second block we get observation x22 up to dash dash. For second treatment and jth block, we get observation x to j and up to dash dash. For second treatment and bth block, we get observation x to b. So its second treatment total is denoted by x2 dot and its treatment mean is denoted by x2 dot bar. Similarly, for ith treatment, we get first observation x1, xi1. Then for ith treatment and second block, we get observation xi2 up to dash dash. For ith treatment and jth block, we get observation xij and similarly up to dash dash. For ith treatment and bth block, we get observation xib. So its treatment total is denoted by xi dot and its treatment mean is denoted by xi dot bar. Similarly, for tth treatment, we get first observation xt1, second observation for block 2 xt2 up to dash dash, xtj for jth block, and we get last observation xtb. So its treatment total is denoted by xt dot and its treatment mean is denoted by xt dot bar. So these are treatment total and treatment mean. Now we want to find block total and block mean. So block total means what? Number of observation or total of all observation of block 1. So whatever the observations we have in block 1, so total of that observation is nothing but block total. So for first block, we get block total and it is denoted by x dot 1. For block 2, it is x dot 2, and for block j, it is x dot j and up to dash dash. For bth block, we get block total x dot b. So for first block, block mean is denoted by x dot 1 bar. For second block, its mean is x dot 2 bar up to dash dash, x dot j bar for jth block, and block mean for bth block is x dot b bar. Now total of all treatment totals is nothing but grand total, or grand total means sum of all observations, and grand mean is nothing but sum of means of all treatments or sum of means of all block means. So this is nothing but grand mean. Now we discuss some notations in detail. So xi dot is nothing but ith treatment total and it is defined as summation j varies from 1 to b. Here is a b term xij. So sum of observations of ith treatment is nothing but ith treatment total. Then xi dot bar is the ith treatment mean and it is defined as ith treatment total upon total number of observations, that is b, or it can be defined as summation j varies from 1 to b xij upon total number of observations b. Then x dot j is the jth block total, and it is defined as summation I varies from 1 to t xij, means sum of all observations of jth block. Then x dot j bar is the jth block mean and it is defined as jth block total upon total number of observations in that block, that is t, or it can be defined as summation I varies from 1 to t xij upon t. Then grand total is denoted by x dot dot and it is defined as sum of all observations, that is summation over I, summation over j xij, or it can be defined as summation I varies from 1 to t xi dot or summation j varies from 1 to b x dot j. Then grand mean is denoted by x dot dot bar, and it is defined as x dot dot, that is grand total upon total number of observations t into b. So it can be written as summation I summation over j xij upon t into b, or it can be defined as summation I varies from 1 to t xi dot upon tb, or summation j varies from 1 to b x dot j upon tb. So this is about grand mean and grand total. Now in analysis of in randomized block design, we are interested to test hypothesis. So our first hypothesis is H naught. There is no significant difference between different treatment effect. Means whatever the treatments we use for comparison, that effect of that treatments are not differ significantly. Versus here is a H1, at least two treatment effects are differ significantly. So this is hypothesis about treatments. And our second hypothesis is for blocks. What is the hypothesis? H naught star, there is no significant difference between different block effects. So we discuss one example. In that we consider first block as a soil of bad condition, block 2 for soil of just okay condition, and the third block contains soil of good quality. Okay, so when we make hypothesis about that, what is our hypothesis? There is no significant difference between different soil conditions. So this is a hypothesis in that problem. And here our alternative hypothesis is at least two block effects are differ significantly. So this is our statistical analysis of randomized block design. Now we are going to discuss sum of squares in this design. So our first sum of square is total sum of square. So total sum of square is denoted by SST, and it is defined as sum of square of difference between observation due to ith treatment and jth block minus its grand mean. That is summation I varies from 1 to t, summation j varies from 1 to b xij minus x dot dot bar bracket square. So this summation can be written as summation I varies from 1 to t, summation j varies from 1 to b xij square minus correction factor, where this correction factor is x dot dot square upon t into b, that is grand total square upon total number of observations. So this is about total sum of square. Then second is sum of square due to treatment. So sum of square due to treatment is denoted by SS treatment, or we can denote it by SS small t, and it is defined as summation over I summation over j xi dot bar minus x dot dot bar bracket square. Now this difference is independent of j, that is jth block, so it can be written as summation I varies from 1 to t b in bracket xi dot bar minus x dot dot bar bracket square. So this summation can be written as summation I varies from 1 to t xi dot square upon b minus x dot dot square upon t into b, that is total number of observations. So this is about sum of square due to treatment. Now sum of square due to block, it is denoted by SS block or SS capital B, and it is defined as summation over I summation over j x dot j bar minus x dot dot bar bracket square. Now this difference is independent of ith treatment. So it can be written as summation j varies from 1 to b t in bracket x dot j bar minus x dot dot bar bracket square. So this summation can be written as summation j varies from 1 to b x dot j square upon t minus x dot dot square upon t into b. And fourth one is a sum of square due to error. So sum of square due to error is denoted by SSE and it is defined as summation I varies from 1 to t, summation j varies from 1 to b, xij, that is observation due to ith treatment and jth block, minus ith treatment mean minus jth block mean plus grand mean and bracket square. So this is what about sum of squares. So in CRD we have already discussed that total sum of square can be written as sum of square due to treatment plus sum of square due to error. Similarly in RBD also we get total sum of square is the sum of treatment sum of square plus sum of square due to block plus sum of square due to error. Now we are going to discuss ANOVA table for RBD. So in CRD also we discuss ANOVA table. Similarly in RBD we get one ANOVA table. So in first column of ANOVA table we have sources of variation. So first is a treatment, then second one is a block, third one is a error and last one is a total. Then second column is for degrees of freedom. For treatment degrees of freedom is t minus 1. Then for block degrees of freedom is b minus 1. For error degrees of freedom is t minus 1 into b minus 1. And for total we have degrees of freedom t into b minus 1, that is total number of observations minus 1. Then third column is for sum of squares. So treatment sum of square is denoted by SS treatment or SS small t. Block sum of square is denoted by SSB. Error sum of square is denoted by SSE and total sum of square is denoted by SS capital T. So with the help of this sum of squares and degrees of freedom we get mean sum of squares. So mean sum of square due to treatment is denoted by MS small t and it is defined as sum of square due to treatment upon its degrees of freedom t minus 1. Then mean sum of square due to block is denoted by MS capital B and it is defined as sum of square due to block upon its degrees of freedom b minus 1. And last one is mean sum of square due to error is denoted by MSE and it is defined as sum of square due to error upon its degrees of freedom t minus 1 into b minus 1. So with the help of these three mean sum of square we get variance ratio or F ratio to test given two hypotheses for treatment and block. So for treatment we get F ratio and it is denoted by capital F1 and it is defined as mean sum of square due to treatment upon mean sum of square due to treatment upon mean sum of square due to error. And to test block hypothesis for block we get F ratio capital F2 and it is defined as MSB, that is mean sum of square due to block upon mean sum of square due to error. So with the help of these two ratio we test our hypothesis for treatment and hypothesis for block. So here we get error degrees of freedom t minus 1 into b minus 1. So let us discuss how we get these degrees of freedom. So here we already seen that total sum of square is the sum of SS treatment, SS block and SSE. So with the help of this statement our error sum of square can be written as SST minus SS treatment minus SS block. So degrees of freedom for error can be written as degrees of freedom for total minus degrees of freedom for SS treatment minus degrees of freedom for SSB. Now for total degrees of freedom is BT minus 1 minus for treatment we have T minus 1 degrees of freedom minus B minus 1 degrees of freedom for SSB. So simplify this, we get BT minus 1 minus T plus 1 minus B and plus 1. So this 1 and this 1 will get cancelled. So the remaining term is BT minus T minus B plus 1. So in this way we get degrees of freedom for error is T minus 1 into B minus 1. So with the help of this block, how we make conclusion about hypothesis? If this F1, that is F1 ratio, is greater than F critical value, that is F with alpha percent level of significance, T minus 1 degrees of freedom and T minus 1 into B minus 1 degrees of freedom, then we reject H0 at given alpha percent level of significance. Okay. So if this F calculated value is greater than critical value, then we reject H0. This is for block. Then this is for treatment, and for block, if this F2 is greater than F critical value, that is F with alpha, B minus 1 degrees of freedom and T minus 1 into B minus 1 degrees of freedom, then we reject H0 star at given alpha percent level of significance. So in this way we make conclusion about our hypothesis with the help of ANOVA table. So in next lecture we will discuss model used in randomized block design and its least square estimators. Thank you.